We're in the car, we're just about to leave. He started howling a bit, but that's to be expected, so let's go.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 7:50 a.m. Look at what's going on here. Boo is in the track. Stella's near the cat grass, and Simba's on the toy. You want me to put the toy on? I'll put the toys on. Okay, I put their toys on. Hopefully they will enjoy them while I get ready for my day. It is 8:10 a.m. I just got out of the shower, and I'm feeling much better today with regards to the vet appointment. I think having a very good night's sleep is very, very important. And I think that is helping to make a difference because I slept really good last night. Here's Stella. She just jumped on the bed. Also, I think the fact that I read the book that the vet was involved in really helped, because I think it made me realize that they are aligned with the same health principles that I have learned. Also, I am well aware of the fact that I could potentially be very disappointed from this vet visit today. So it can go well, it can go extremely well, or it can be very disappointing. So I'm hoping that when we leave the vet today, everything went well and it exceeded our expectations. And I'm trying not to have too many expectations. I'm just realizing that I could end up leaving disappointed, like the way I left the first holistic vet I took Simba to when he was limping quite a few years ago. That was a very, very big disappointment because I had researched that vet. I'd looked into other projects that vet was involved in, and I had very high hopes for that appointment. And then when I was told to see a different vet in that practice versus the vet that I had made an appointment with, and then the vet that saw Simba could not even pick him up correctly, that was just beyond shocking. So in my mind, if a vet does not even know how to handle a cat, there's no way that they have enough experience with cats. So that was super, super disappointing. I never went back there. Yeah, I'm hoping today goes well, and I'm thinking positively about it. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm looking forward to getting to meet a new holistic vet and see a new vet's practice. And I'm very much hoping that Boo behaves well. Not that he doesn't behave well, I just hope he doesn't get too stressed out. I've been talking to him, letting him know we're going on an adventure today, so I'm just hoping everything goes okay. Here's Boo now. So Boo is totally fine this morning. He's not stressed out or anything. But what I've realized is that he just does not like being in a carrier, and the cats don't like being in a carrier. You know, they're used to just, being normal like this, and having to be confined to a small carrier. They don't like that. They feel trapped. They feel confined, especially Boo, because we have to remember Boo was trapped, and when he was trapped, it was like a botched TNR. So Boo especially does not like it. So I have to think about how I can make that carrier more enjoyable for him. Not that there's going to be much I'm going to be able to do because it is a small confined space. So what Boo is telling me is, imagine traveling in a suitcase versus with a suitcase. That's what Boo just told me. He said that's what it's like. It's like traveling inside of a suitcase instead of with a suitcase. And he doesn't really like that. I'm sorry, Boo, but that's how the world is for cats right now. That's your method of transportation. Yeah, that's the method of transportation that we have for cats right now. Boo has some schmutz in his eye. Boo, I'm going to wipe your eye, okay? Yeah, I'll wipe your eye. And then we're going to go on an adventure today, okay? I'm sorry, Boo, but that's the method of transportation for cats right now. That's the best that humans have come up with, is these carriers. And for you, Boo, it has to be a really secure carrier, because I don't want you getting hurt by getting out of the carrier. We have to remember that Boo has the ability to escape from carriers if they're not sturdy enough. So I have to make sure that you're safe, Boo. And that's why I put you in a carrier, to make sure that you are safe when you are traveling. So that is your safety device, Boo. Yeah, it's a special safety device just for you to make sure that you stay safe. That's the reason why we have carriers, Boo. I know you feel confined in it, and I know you don't like it, but it's for safety, Boo. You want to stay safe, right? So you can safely go where you need to go, and you can safely come back from where we need to go. It's for safety, okay? It's a safety device. Yeah. You know what it's like, Boo? It's like when an astronaut goes into outer space. They have to travel in a spaceship, right? They can't travel in a car to outer space. They have to travel in a spaceship. So it's like the equivalent of that. It's a special safety device. Also, if someone has to dive beneath the water, they dive in a submarine, right? So a submarine is a safety device, and that's the same thing as a carrier. So it's like going on an adventure in a spaceship or in a submarine. Same kind of thing. Both spaceships and submarines are made for safety, to keep the people inside of them safe. And that's why we have cat carriers. That's why you go in a carrier, because it keeps you safe. Right, Boo? We're going to try to make it more comfortable for you. What would you like me to put in there with you? You want a pillow? You say it's too hard? You want something soft on the bottom? I could put more of the training pads. The training pads are soft. I could put a few of those in there. All right, I'll see what I have, Boo. I'll see what I could put in there to make it nice and soft for you, okay? One other thing that I wanted to mention is that even if this vet appointment ends up being a very big disappointment, just the fact that it led me to the book that I read last night about natural pet health, to me was worth it, because it really opened my eyes to a few things, and it pointed me in the direction of some other healing methods and modalities that I really hadn't thought of, or if I had thought of them, it really wasn't giving them as much attention as I should have. So I have like a list of other books and videos and other information that I want to consume based off of the book that I read last night. So that to me was worth it, even if this appointment doesn't go well. It is 10:30 a.m. and the cats had their breakfast, and for some reason they're not going about their morning routine like they usually do, and Splash is the one that's messing things up. So normally after they eat their breakfast, they have some time to hang out, and then Splash comes here into my bedroom, and Stella and Simba usually follow him. If they don't, then what I do is I take out some treats like this or some crunchies, and then I get them in the room that way. So it's really good to just keep treats as some kind of training or motivational device. So that's what I've been doing. But today, Splash was in Boo's room. And then Boo came in here, and Boo was on the cat tower in here. So I was like, okay, this is not going to work, because I want Boo to be in his room, and then I'm going to put the carrier in his room and get him used to it, and then put him in the carrier when we have to leave. It's just going to be easier to do it that way. So by taking out these treats, I had to actually go up to Boo on the cat tower with one in my hand and be like, okay, Boo, you want a treat? And then I gave him the treats in his room. So that's how I got him in his room. Stella and Simba come into this room, no problem, when the treats are here. Like, Simba's walking in now. So Splash is really the only one that I still have to get in the room if I want everything to stay on their normal routine. But I have to go downstairs and give the cats a little bit more breakfast and see how they did with their breakfast. And I just wanted to point this out, because it's really, really good not to, give cats too many treats, and to save them for when you need them to do something. Like, it's a really good bribe tool. It's 11:45 and the car is ready. I put one of my bags in the car. I should actually put both of my bags in the car and just get them in the car. And here's the carrier. The carrier's ready. So I have 2 of the training pads on the bottom of the carrier. Then I found this yellow towel. Boo loves yellow, so I put the yellow towel in there. I sprayed it with the Pet Remedy and the Feel Away spray. I don't want Sammy to go in there, so I'm going to shut the top. It is 11:50, And I got Boo in the carrier, and I'm out of breath because it was a bit of a struggle. You could see that everything that used to be up near the top of the windows is no longer near the top of the windows. So Boo was laying here by the windows, and what I did was I came in, I put the carrier on the daybed, I opened up the carrier, walked over to Boo. I was like, okay, Boo, it's time for your safety transport. And I picked him up, and he was fine, except he grabbed hold to the runner and the thing underneath the runner. Like, he let his claws out, and he was like holding on to them for dear life. So when I tried to put him in the carrier, he had these things attached to him, and then, like I said, he turns into an octopus, and there's just like arms and legs going in every direction. And at one point, he got out of my grasp, and he was here on the floor, but thankfully I was able to just like pick him up again and put him back in after kind of maneuvering him in a million different directions. So right now he's in the carrier. I sprayed it down with the Feel Away spray and the pet remedy. He's not happy, but right now we're on time. So I'm just gonna take him out to the car, and we're gonna get going. And fingers crossed we don't hit any traffic. Hopefully it'll be a nice trip there. Right now it's not raining. Right now it's sunny, hot, and humid. It's a little too hot for taking a cat in a carrier, but whatever. I'm just happy it's not like thunderstorming right now. So let's hope we get there quickly, we have a very good visit, we get home quickly, and everything is fine. Okay, we just made it outside the house, and so far he's nice and quiet. Maybe the combination of the two sprays will really help keep him calm. All right, I spoke too soon. We're in the car, we're just about to leave. He started howling a bit, but that's to be expected, so let's go. We're stopped at a red light, we have 20 minutes to go, and yeah, now I'm at the point where I count the miles and I count the minutes, because, you know, the quicker we get there, the better. We are 5 minutes away from the vet's office, and I have to say Boo's doing really good. He's only howling like a third of the time, and I'm thinking maybe because we were on a highway and there wasn't like stopping and going at red lights and stuff, so maybe it wasn't too bad for him. And I had the cruise control on, so I was trying to make the ride as smooth as possible, and of course I was talking to him and explaining everything to him, so maybe that helped, but I'll take it. We just got to the vet's office. We're 5 minutes early, so that's good. I don't have to rush or anything. And I've heard that this vet is often late, so hopefully not too late. Hopefully we don't have to sit in the waiting room too long. But Boo was really good for that last stretch, and as soon as we got here, he meowed a little bit, but he seems to be pretty relaxed, so I'm going to get everything together, and we're going to go in. It's 1:30 p.m. We just got out of the vet's office. Everything went really, really well. I can't believe we were there for an hour, but I was talking to the vet for a really long time. Okay, I'm going to pull away now. Then when we get home, I'll tell you all about it. It is about 2 p.m. right now. We just got home. I'm going to let Boo out. Come on, Boo. Boo did so good. You did so good, Boo. Good job, Boo. I'm going to give him maybe some squeeze-ups or something. Let's see what's going on in here. So in the exam room, she gave Boo some treats. These are some freeze-dried beef lungs. She says that the dogs that see her love them, and the cats love them also. Boo, you want to finish your snack? Here. You want your snack? But Boo is a little bit too nervous to enjoy them. But he did not poop or pee in the carrier. Wow, Boo. Boo, you did so good. You did not poop or pee in the carrier. You did so good. Good job, Boo. So let me tell you about what happened at the vet's office. So when we got to the vet's office, it was very calm and peaceful. They had like a really, really big waiting room. Like they have really big offices. The vet that I'd been taking Boo to had like smaller offices, a really small waiting room. This is really big, and it was just a very nice, calm atmosphere, and the receptionists were really, really nice, and they took me right away. Like I sat down with Boo, and literally minutes later the vet tech came and was like, follow me into a room. So we went into the exam room, and they weighed Boo, and Boo weighs 14 pounds. So he's actually down about 0.8 pounds. So when he went to have his tooth extracted, he was 14.8 pounds, and that was about 3 months ago. And now he is 14 pounds, so that's good. We're moving in a good direction. They said he's a good weight for his size because, you know, he's a really big cat. Everyone's like, wow, he's really big. They said he's like a panther, right? And the vet gave him an exam, and the vet said that he looks really healthy. The vet noticed that he was over grooming his belly area. And I said, yeah, it was probably from stress. And the vet said that, you know, that's typical of cats to do that. But she didn't think it was, you know, too bad or anything. But I was surprised that she noticed it because she did not even like see it. She was just like, just from touching him, she could feel that. And she looked at his mouth and she said his fang is not loose. It is long, but it does have like some inflammation around the root of it. And she says eventually it might end up falling out. But she also said that, you know, cats with FIV do have problems with their teeth and their mouth. And she said for FIV cats, that is what is typical for them. And we were talking about food, and she says that what I'm feeding them is great. I showed her the list of supplements that I've been using, and she says it's fine. She said that everything that I'm giving them is really good for the cats. And pretty much what I'm feeding my cats is what she feeds her cats. She was telling me how she makes her homemade raw food for her cats. And she was telling me how she cooks some vegetables for them and adds some vegetables in the cat food. Not a lot, just a little. And she also gave me a supplement, like an herbal tincture to add to Boo's food. That's supposed to be good for his mouth and help boost his immune system. She also gave me a spray that she said I could spray on his mouth, which should be good for it also. And we just talked about all different things. You know, if I have a holistic vet in front of me and I have at least a half hour of their time, I'm just going to fire as many questions as I can. And that's what I did. And we talked about so many different things. And she was telling me about just how much wrong information is on the internet about cats and dogs and pet health and pet food. And she was like, yeah, that's a lie, and that's a lie, and that's a lie, and that's a lie. And oh my gosh, it was really good. I mean, I don't want to say it was eye-opening because a lot of the stuff that we talked about, it's really just her validating what, you know, I already had learned or knew from past experiences. But it's always so nice when you can actually talk to somebody who's, you know, like on the same page with a lot of these things and kind of speaks the same language and understands the same things, because that's really not the case with the majority of vets. So overall, I do have to say that I am really happy with this new vet, and I'm really happy that the vet that Boo had been going to did not answer the phone. Like, I don't know what's going on at their office and why nobody's been answering the phone. Nobody's returning phone calls. Nobody's responding to emails. I don't know what's going on with that. But because of that situation, I found this new vet and I took Boo to the vet. And yeah, I'm really happy because the vet that Boo and the other cats had been going to was more of a dog vet. I would say like 75% of the patients there were dogs versus cats. And this vet does a lot more with cats. This vet has a feral cat colony behind their office. Like, they were telling me that they have like the heated water bowls, the heated pet shelters, the, you know, the covering for food areas. And I was like, oh my gosh, it sounds exactly like my yard. And they were joking around saying, yeah, the cats probably tell each other to come here. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds exactly like my situation in my yard. So it was like I found my people here. It's like I found my tribe. They are totally on the same page with feral cats and cats in general. And she was telling me that every cat she ever had was a rescued feral cat. So I was like, wow, that is awesome. And Boo did really good. So for a while he was on the exam table. He was letting me hold him. But then he wanted to jump down and the vet's like, yeah, just let him jump, let him be. But then he was howling from the floor. So I picked him up again. But then he wasn't happy. So I put him back in the carrier. And then finally he was happy. And then we were just talking about cat food and different issues. And like I said, if I have a holistic vet that knows their stuff and I'm paying for an appointment, I'm going to ask as many questions as I can and get as much information as I can. And that's one thing that I want to point out. If you go to a vet and if a vet gets mad at you for asking questions, then you are not at a good vet. A vet should not get mad that you're asking questions. A vet should answer the questions that you ask, and they should be fine with answering your questions. And if I went to a vet that didn't do that, like if I was asking questions and the vet did not want to answer the questions, then I would not be going to that vet. Because you have to remember that when you go to a vet, you are hiring that person to perform a service. You are hiring them for their service, and their service is to provide you with their knowledge and expertise with regards to the health of your pet. And you are paying them, so they are working for you. So if you ask them questions, they should be answering your questions. And you should never feel bad about asking a vet a question. It is always better to ask too many questions than to not ask enough questions. Always ask as many questions as you could possibly think of, because you don't want to come home and then regret not getting information that you could have gotten. And I have found that it's much better to kind of even make a list of things you want information on before you go. That way you don't forget anything. And that's what I did. I literally took out some pieces of paper that I had questions written down on, and I was like, okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about vitamin D, and is Boo getting enough vitamin D? And they said if he's laying near a window and the window's open and there's only a screen in the window, he's going to get vitamin D through the screen. But if the window's shut, he's not going to get the vitamin D through the window screen. But they're like, there should not be a need to supplement with the vitamin D. He's also getting vitamin D in some of the foods that he's eating, so that should not be an issue. You can see Boo's very relaxed right now. Oh, I was also asking them about his fur, how it's turning a little bit reddish, and they said that that happens if a cat lays in the sun a lot. They're like, does he like to lay in the sun? I'm like, yeah, he loves laying in this window. They're like, yeah, that's totally normal. And they did not make me feel bad for asking any questions. And I was asking questions about his teeth. I was like, does he need to have like a full cleaning where you knock him out and do the full cleaning? And they're like, not yet. It's not bad enough yet. Maybe in a few years if it gets worse. But right now he just has some tartar on his back molars. But, with eating the way he's eating, getting chunks of meat and getting bones, and with the new herbs, there's a chance that that could be reversed. So we're going to do that. And just stuff like that. So I'm really happy with how today went. It actually exceeded my expectations. I have to say that. I did not think I would be there for an hour having a conversation with the vet and the vet tech, but they were so knowledgeable and they knew so much. And the vet lives on a farm, so she knows dogs, she knows cats, and she has her own dogs and her own cats, and she knows all different animals. And it was just really, really nice to be able to talk to people that actually know what they're talking about and who don't believe in filling a cat up with pharmaceutical drugs. And that is also something that is really refreshing, because when you talk to the majority of vets, that's all they're trained to do. They're only trained to match symptoms to pharmaceutical drugs. And that's why it is so rare that you could find a really good holistic vet that knows how to take care of a cat and understands how to treat them with natural supplements and natural formulas and remedies, and how to maintain their health in a natural way. So I have to say, Boo did so good. He hardly meowed at all when we were in the exam room. And even in the reception area when I was waiting to pay, their computers went down, so it took a little bit longer than normal. But even waiting there, he was really, really good. So Boo did such a good job. I'm going to go get him a squeeze up or something so he can have a little treat. But you did so good, Boo. You did so good, Boo. Boo, you did so good. Boo just had a churro. He had a chicken with scallop churro. It's all gone, Boo. You ate it. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that during the course of the conversation with the vet, I was talking about the feel-away dispensers and how they helped like so much with Splash and the spraying. And she said that they're great, that she uses them because she has multiple cats also. And she also said that when she has cats and it looks like that they're, you know, just about to have a fight, what she does is she takes the feel-away spray and she just sprays it in the air, and then it stops a cat fight. Like, it stops the fight from happening. So I might actually try that and see how that works, because then you're not spraying a cat with water, you're just spraying the air with the feel-away. I just took the carrier out of Boo's room, and the kittens are all smelling it. They probably smell the feel-away and the pet remedy. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it in the living room on the rug, and I'm gonna open it up. Maybe they'll go in there. Ringo's really smelling it. They love the pet remedy. Also, we got home just in time because the landscapers just showed up. There's Nancy. She's like, what's going on in there? There's Ziggy. And Sammy.